Human resource management. Human resource management. The function responsible for the efficient and effective management of the relationship between the employees and the organization. It includes establishment, maintenance, and termination of the employees. HRM's relationship to business objectives. The human resource function is imperative to achieving an organization's objectives because it is within this function that employees are motivated, which can decrease staff turnover and increase staff morale, thereby reducing costs associated with hiring and training new staff. Therefore, productivity is maximized, which would subsequently increase the success of the organization. Employees' expectations. Conditions of employment: occupational health and safety, job security, work-life balance. Conditions of employment. What an employer has agreed to give the employee in return for their work, such as number of hours expected from employee, other entitlements, e.g. redundancy pay, leave, and public holiday entitlements for remuneration. Flexible work practices. Patterns of work that allow organizations to work more efficiently or allow employees to balance work and family responsibilities, such as variable working days, weeks working from home, flexi-time, maxi-flex, creating a work environment that takes into account the impact of family responsibilities on employees will lead to a more loyal and committed employee, which will translate into greater job satisfaction and better work performance. Occupational health and safety. Providing a safe and healthy work environment for employees. Job security. Relates to an employee's perception of the likelihood of losing their job. Job insecurity can lead to decreased levels of motivation as well as decreased levels of loyalty and commitment to the organization, and therefore productivity. Work-life balance. Achieving the right amount of time for work and personal life benefits. Employees are motivated and experience less stress as a result, and therefore increases employee productivity. Job satisfaction is improved, which results in reductions recruitment and training costs due to higher staff retention. Employee motivation. The employee's willingness or drive to exert high levels of effort to reach organizational objectives, while also satisfying individual employees' need to achieve Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Herzberg's two-factor theory. Locke's goal-setting theory. 3 phases of the employment cycle. 1. Establishment phase, HR planning, job analysis and job design, recruitment, selection, employment arrangements, remuneration. 2. Maintenance phase, induction, training and development, recognition in reward, performance management. 3. Termination phase, termination management, entitlements, transition. Issues. Human resource planning. Planning for future personnel needs, taking into account both internal activities and factors in the external environment. During human resource planning, management must ensure that the required human resources will be available to achieve the organization's strategic plan. Job analysis. Systematic process of gathering information relating to a job being performed by an employee can be conducted using interviews, logbooks, and daily work diaries or observation. Job description. A written statement of a job's tasks, duties, and responsibilities, including its location on the organizational chart. Job specification. Detailed listing of the personal skills, education, and experience required to perform a particular job. Job design. Grouping together of tasks for a particular job, which should incorporate variety and challenge for the job holder in order to attract higher quality applicants and lead to higher job satisfaction. Recruitment. The process of finding the best qualified pool of applicants. Internal recruitment. Advertising the position within the organization and allows for staff to be promoted pro equals greater than lower costs because an induction process and paying for advertising will not be required. It also acts as a motivator and morale booster for employees as they are promoted. Can equals greater than no new ideas, skills in approaches to problem solving are introduced, which could stifle creativity and innovation. External recruitment. Advertised outside the organization, and candidates can come from anywhere. Pro equals greater than a larger pool of applicants who are likely to provide fresh insights, new approaches, and new ways of solving problems to the organization. Con equals greater than advertising and interviewing new employees is time-consuming, more difficult and costly. There is also limited career advancement of existing employees, therefore decreasing their motivation. Equal employment opportunity. Providing people with a fair and equitable opportunity to succeed without any form of discrimination based on age, sex, race, or nationality. Selection. Process undertaken by an organization to choose the best candidate for the job. Selection process. Employment contract. A formal written agreement between an employer and an employee setting out the legal obligations of each party. An informal or oral agreement may also be entered into. Types of employment contracts. Permanent full-time basis equals greater than employees are entitled to receive a salary or wage. Leave entitlements and superannuation. Permanent part-time basis equals greater than employees are entitled to receive a salary or wage. Leave entitlements and superannuation. Work fewer hours than full-time casual basis equals greater than short-term, irregular or seasonal work, paid on a daily or hourly basis and do not have access to wage benefits. Enterprise bargaining. Enterprise bargaining. The practice of reaching an agreement between an employer and the employees, setting out pay and working conditions at the individual, enterprise or workplace level, including time off or extra pay for working overtime, flexible hours, paid or non-paid leave, working from home. Collective agreement. Employee collective agreement. A written agreement made between an employer and an employee that sets out the terms and conditions of employment. Union collective agreement. A written agreement made between an employer and a union that sets out the terms and conditions of employment. Remuneration. The amount a person is compensated for performing work tasks. It can take the form of cash and/or fringe benefits. It can be referred to as a salary or wages. Types of remuneration. Wages equals greater than worked out on an hourly basis for a working week. Salary equals greater than annual figure usually paid on a monthly or fortnightly basis. Salary packages equals greater than performance-based pay. Superannuation. Entitlements. Benefits equals greater than, e.g. paid maternal leave. Maintenance phase. The second phase, where the role of the HR manager is to ensure the organization retains productive and efficient employees who are loyal and committed to the organization. Induction. Training. The process of providing an employee with the knowledge of specific skills needed to do a job provides employees with an opportunity for promotion and self-improvement, improves job satisfaction and greater confidence due to better performance, thus higher productivity, increases motivation due to new challenges, resulting in reduced costs due to lower staff turnover and fewer work accidents. Training needs analysis. Diagnoses the current problems and future challenges that need to be overcome through use of a training program. Three levels of analysis. Organizational analysis. The entire business is analyzed to determine where training activities should be concentrated to best achieve its strategic objectives. Task analysis. The individual jobs to be performed are analyzed to determine whether any skill deficiencies are evident. Person analysis. Each employee is assessed to determine what kind of training is required. Development. The process designed to develop skills necessary for future work activities and responsibilities. Provides employees with an opportunity for promotion and self-improvement, higher staff retention rates, and therefore lower costs associated with recruiting new staff. Performance management. The system used to improve organizational and individual performance through linking the objectives of each performance appraisal. determining how well employees have performed their jobs, providing feedback to employees and establishing plans to improve performance. Appraisal methods. Performance appraisal outcomes. Remuneration and rewards, training and development, counseling, job promotion, job rotation, transfer, termination. Rewards and recognition. Financial rewards, wages, salary, superannuation, performance-related pay and financial rewards. Promotion, career development, travel, entertainment, vouchers or film tickets, recognition. Termination. The third and final phase of the cycle, and results from decisions made by either the employer or the employee to end the employment contract and relationship. Impact of termination. Positive: cutting of non-productive employees, reduction in costs. Negative: loss of talent, cost of replacement, decline and morale, breakdown of effective teams, productivity could decrease. Resignation. Voluntary termination that occurs when an employee quits their job because there are job opportunities or for a change of lifestyle. Retirement. Voluntary termination where an employee decides to leave the paid workforce. Dismissal. Involuntary termination of an employment contract due to the behavior of an employee being unacceptable. Retrenchment. Involuntary termination where an employee's job no longer exists, usually due to either the introduction of technology or downsizing of the organization. Termination management. Employee relations. The interaction between employers and employees and the establishment of employment of those employees. Relationship of employee relations to business objectives. The aim of employee relations is to achieve an optimum working relationship between the employees of an organization and management. In doing so, the level of conflict will be decreased and leads to a harmonious work environment. This in turn will create optimum worker and organizational productivity, resulting in greater organizational competitiveness. Trade unions. An organization formed to represent and protect the rights of workers in a particular industry. Benefits campaigns for better pay and work conditions, provide support at the workplace level. Threat of unemployment, taking action for safer workplace, acts as a spokesperson to the employer associations. An organization that provides a range of advice to employers and represent their interests on employee relations issues. Benefits represent and assist employer groups promote their common interest in employee relations, share information and offer mutual support on their rights and obligations. Acts as a spokesperson for members of their organizational type, represent employers during bargaining over wages and conditions. Centralized system. Where awards were determined by a central body relating to an industry. Pro equals greater than all documents about pay and work conditions are government determined, therefore there is a certainty of pay and work conditions for employees working in the same industry. As a result, less industrial disputes occurred within individual businesses. Con equals greater than reduces the potential for employees to have flexible pay and work conditions, which can decrease motivation and job satisfaction, and therefore decentralized system. Similarities between centralized and decentralized approaches. Both use rewards as the minimum terms and conditions of employment for an entire industry. Both are concerned with the terms and conditions of employment written into the employment contract. Differences between centralized and decentralized approaches. Industry-wide awards. Employment contracts that set out minimum wages and conditions of employment in a specified industry. Collective agreements. Employment contracts that result from negotiations between an employer and union that set out wages and working conditions for a particular organization. Types of industrial disputes. Industrial dispute methods. One example is the tactic of go slow. This means that the work to rule means that you workers can also use the deliberate use of sabotage to go slow. Employees are still producing the work, but they are deliberately trying to slow down the production process and reduce the productivity of the plant. Work to rule. When employees only complete the tasks that are actually documented in their job description, this level of inflexibility and refusal to complete overtime to meet customer demands again damages the productivity of the organization and puts pressure on management. Sabotage. When employees obstruct or break down production lines to prevent goods being manufactured, if this was deliberately observed, it could lead to staff dismissal, but when done accidentally on a repeat basis, this can cause major disruption and inconvenience to management. Management style and employee relations. The adoption of a participative management style will result in positive employee relations as it encourages employee involvement in decision-making processes, which can facilitate a sense of value and develops employee trust. This results in employee loyalty, commitment, and better performance. Subsequently, customers receive better service, which leads to customer loyalty and satisfaction, therefore creating a positive effect on business growth and profitability. Management skills and employee relations. Effective communication skills and methods allow employees to interact openly with management and feel valued and are less inclined to resort to industrial action when dealing with workplace conflict. People skills. Interpersonal skills are important in building trust between employees and the employer, as well as supporting positive negotiations. The manager's team leadership skills will encourage contributions from all team members and build a cohesive and trusting group of team